Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. After like 6 straight L's, I mean L's, I'm gonna shift efforts. I'm still working on everything else. I'm gonna try this Yamaha out. Why not? How bad could it be? I mean, the white motor won't stay running. The overheating issue persists on the 9.9. 5.5 sucks its own fumes from somewhere, stalls and stinks. The 6 horsepower, he's on the ground over here. Susie all purdy to fix the shifter. Now I just put the linkage together and I shift it, it pulls apart. I don't know. So now the whole lower unit's gonna come back off of that one, back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, the 25 and the 28. Both these lower head bolts won't come out. Tomorrow's gonna be weld day. We're gonna see if we can weld those out. So what we did is we dug out the Yamaha out of the basement, because in my head I'm thinking, okay, power heads won't swap, and midsection on the 35 won't come off. This is a long shaft steering 30 horsepower Yamaha. Really hard to find a part number or a model number or whatever, but it looks to be great shape. Guy said it wouldn't run. Why? I hear you, Bill. You can't get a steering motor. You need a tiller. I was able to find a tiller for this. I think it works. It'll adapt. Probably not. But I mean, I might as well just take it apart, see if I can get it running. I don't know. What's the difference? I am up nobody's creek with backwards paddles and skis. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, guys. You're watching this channel. It's not how to repair boats. It's to follow along with how bad it gets. Well, this is how bad it gets. We're pulling out Yamahas now. I got this for free for fixing another guy's motor. Back when we used to win some. I don't know if you remember. Check some of the last video. I used to win a couple. Back in the day, I used to get a couple wins. So he gave me this. And that was when I was doing some free stuff so I can get the channels up to 1,000. Now I'm charging for it. I can't get any of them running. Oh, I mean, it's not all bad, but it's bad right now. We're in a slump. We're in a slump. Big slump. So we're going to play with the Yamaha. What's wrong with it? I don't know. He says it wouldn't run. It looks great. I think I checked compression. I do know that the lower unit seems not to be spinning. So I already started disassembling the lower unit. We take that off. Once the lower unit's off, we're going to put it back and we're going to put some power to it and see if we can get it started. See if it'll run. Because I'm not going to do any work if it doesn't run. So let's get the lower unit off, see if it runs. I've never worked on a Yamaha. Been in my basement forever. I don't know. See what happens. So lower unit comes off, four bolts here, and I found a shifter. This thing has a shifter mechanism, linkage, if you will. I've watched a YouTube video or two on how to disconnect these. Plus, the lower unit's usually a couple bolts and a shifter linkage. So this one's right here, nice and convenient. Thanks, Yamaha. I appreciate that. If you're wondering the year and everything, I have no idea. If you could tell me how to find the year, that'd be great. Nobody on YouTube has the same motor that I noticed. The part number is on the bracket. I think, last of my research, I gotta recheck. It's 90s. 90s, 30 horsepower. Long shaft. Better be a long shaft. This section here makes me think it's long. I don't know. I'm rambling. I gotta edit that out anyway. You guys will get bored. All right. So this linkage comes out. The lower unit's coming off. Get to break out my metric wrenches for once. That's kind of fun. Careful, 10 millimeter. Everybody knows, all you guys out there mechanics, you know the 10 millimeters, they go missing. Are we disconnected? Yeah. Think so? I don't know. Out of my way? There she goes. All right, cool. Should slide out. See what happens. Can you see this? Oh, don't fall forward though. Let's put it back down. Set it down now. my mount, my little, yeah, it's gonna fall. Pull it. Go down, stay down. All right, cool, cool. Easy now, simmer, relax. Well, that was easy. I don't see a water tube. So here's what a Yamaha lower unit looks like. Same stuff. Shift rod, a shaft, a water pump housing, an exhaust port. It spins, but doesn't. So I believe this is gonna unscrew. I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm doing. Why am I playing with this thing? I think that's a special tool that gets into the gears there. You know who might know? Stu, Stu. Australian guy. 4 billion views. Not well. He's got like 100 million subscribers. Been doing this forever, but he's a legit outboard boat dealer. I'm just a schmuck in New Jersey. All right, let me put this aside for now. We gotta see if we can get it started. Now, I had trouble pulling this. Just want to see if it spins. Are we recording for the article? All right, now that the drive shaft isn't impeding us. It's 30 horsepower, so it takes a little gumption to pull. But what I'd like to do, oh boy, is find a Yamaha connector for gas. Golly, can I be any unluckier? I wonder if I think the Evan would want to work. All right, we're just trying to get some amperage here. Dead. This one was able to spin it twice, so we got the battery charger on. Give me now. Let's see if we can at least get it to spin the heck over. It's turning, it's just a I just want a rever. I need something to rev. I need something to check. Spark, compression, anything. 30 seconds. Let that cook for a minute. Give the old lone wolf. Oh, no, we broke. Nope. All right, good. 20 seconds left. Come on, baby. Just spin 4 times. My batteries are terrible. This is where I get smoking hot. All right. That was my attempt to get something to spin today. So it's been sitting in my basement. It seemed like the lower unit was locked up. And it's a controlled motor. Can't do nothing with a controlled motor. Searched online, Yamaha makes an adapter and a tiller handle. Boom. So now I said, okay, I got a 30 horsepower long shaft with a starter. There's no starter button on it. I don't know if y'all know Yamahas. There's no starter button. Neither here nor there. I'm gonna see if I can get it running. I threw fuel to it. It has super strong spark. Fuel must not be hitting somewhere. Compression is, it's a good one for you guys, 150 on the top, 130 on the bottom. I've heard usually tolerances are like, what, 15, 10%? Then you go online and you're like, they're both high, it's okay. 50 technically is 15 on the money. I don't know what's going on, but the RS is just technically supposed to check compression while it's warm. I never listened to any of that. I believe it's gonna run. Y'all been here before. I'm literally not having a great streak. So the main thing was the tiller handle setup, and on this Yamaha here, where the shifter handle would, or the cable would go, has this cute little adapter-rooney here with 2 pieces for what looks to be a cable setup for a tiller. This thing could be it. Now, what do we have to do? We got to find out why it's not getting fuel. So I'm going to quick pop the carb off. I'm going to show you the lower unit in a little bit to see what I'm working with down there. That seems to just need a water impeller because I got it freed up. I don't know what happened, but it started to move, and I like it. Instead of pulling that carrier out, which is difficult and tricky, there's videos on that, but you have to search Alpha Drive, all kinds of funky Yamaha stuff that we're not used to over here. This is a 90, 30 horsepower. Doesn't say anything except for CV30. CV30 EL, which probably stands for 30 horsepower. CV, no idea. EL, electric long shaft, I'm assuming. If you search that on YouTube, you're not going to find this motor. 30 horsepowers with 2 carbs, 3 cylinders. This is a 1 carb, 2 cylinder, 30 horsepower. I don't know how they pulled that off. And also, I noticed that the Enduros seem to be this motor. So I believe this to be an Enduro model, maybe made in Japan. Maybe it's a Japan motor, so it wasn't really made for the States. I actually just thought of that now. That might be it.
But yo, Yamaha guys, come on down. Hit me with what you know or think it is. The carburetor's got to come off. This carburetor nut, piece of cake. The other carburetor nut behind the starter, behind the bracket. The starter's in front of the bracket bolts, so you can't get the bracket off until you get the starter out. The starter doesn't come out. And we're gonna pull this carb out. I'm gonna order a kit, do the carburetor on this. Check the fuel pump, which seems new-ish. The motor's in great condition. Couple problems, blackout bill problems. Coincidentally, the tiller bracket mounting spot has a broken bolt in it. Woosah, woosah. And broken bolts, theme of the month. I also have a broken mount right here on the bottom. Let's see if we can get it running first. We'll work on mounts and this thing later. If it doesn't run, it ain't worth nothing. So carburetor's got to come off. So obviously, if it's a controlled motor, it had a harness, right? So the harness is missing. That's interesting. Well, the kill switch must not be connected because I was showing spark. Does that make sense? That tracks, right, guys? That tracks. But it's missing the harness. It also doesn't have a starter button. So I'm assuming it was just set up for a key, right? Plug harness in, key on. See, I'm learning. I am hooked up in the fuel line. And my electric choke apparatus is also hooked up, which is fine. Now this is cool. It's a little pin connector. Oh, yeah, sure. Why we wear gloves today? Should just pull out. Should just pull out. Every college kid's dream. It should just pull out. Okay. I'm not cutting. I would like to not cut. Okay. All right, we'll separate the little rubbers. It should just pull out. Yay. All right, carburetor's out. Let's rebuild this thing. I don't like to do carb videos anymore because it's the same carb over and over again, but being the Yamaha, I just want to open it up with you guys to see if we're seeing the same thing. And you guys can maybe help. I was looking for a slow speed needle screw. And we got this guy on the bottom. That might be a drain screw because it's not very white right now. This is turned in all the way. So it might just be a drain. No idea. Just want to see what the bottom bowl looks like to see if we got any gunk or anything. Because when we threw fuel to it, we got nothing. Not a sputter, not a nothing. And it does have spark. And if the kill switch was engaged, it wouldn't spark at all. Is that accurate? But I wasn't getting a sputter, nothing. Usually, even with a little fuel, I didn't try spraying anything in there. So it is possible that it could have just needed a little pip, little start spray action. Okay. Kind of hoping this was all gummed up. 'Tis not. Well, the bowl is clean, let's say that. A little schmutzola in this corner here. Just cleaned up. Could have led to it. Nothing. Yeah, I think that's just a drain. It wouldn't be a high-speed suction jet. I think get 30 horsepower out of a single carb 2-cylinder unit. And then I've seen Yamahas with 3 cylinders, 3 carburetors only get 25. Gotta be an air restriction thing. This float is way off. I'm assuming the Japan-style carbs are the same as America or whatever, where it should stay level. So that could be an issue. Oh, it's got a different needle type seat set up too. So that needle could have been stuck. It doesn't look like. Here, I'll show you. I've never seen anything like this before. Did I see a... I don't remember if I watched the repair video once. I'm curious to see if this jet comes out. It does look like they used some sort of fiber seat gasket, which is coming apart. Could be a lot of junk in there. I mean, just massive fuel leak evidence. Just nasty. It's all fucked up. I'm wondering if there's... Oh, is that it? Is that our slow speed needle circuit? I'm gonna guess yes. There's a back jet there. Probably shoots through these holes here for the slow speed, and this regulates it here, being the spring is on it. That is my guess. Let me get the flathead and see how many turns that is in. see how many turns we got. Half, 1, half, 2, half, about 2 and almost 2 1/2, 2 3/8 we'll call it. We got to find out what the setting on that is, but it was 2 1/2 out. If it's 1 1/2, we know that was another issue they're probably having. But I didn't get a stutter, so I highly doubt at 2 1/2 out it was not getting fuel to at least give me a little bit of a fire. So it was here. So we'll start with the 3/4 and then 1, 2. So 2 1/2 out, we'll remember that. Get this thing out. Hopefully it just slides out. It's kind of embedded in there. Okay, punch did the trick. Just basted flat, punch straight, nice and straight, and boom, she came right out. So this needle is spring loaded. That's cute. It just does this little spring action. So I guess when a float closes, it's not jamming it up in there. Okay, so we tore apart the rest of the carb. We basically just took off the choke mechanism. We unscrewed the two. So you got this inner tube jet. It almost broke on me. And then on top of that is a high-speed jet here. And that screws in here. We took those out. And the needle seat is a 10 millimeter. And that hopefully should come with the kit. Not the jets, but the seat. So that came out of there. We took the slow speed needle out for the adjustment. And we're going to throw it in the old Barrowman's can. And wait for my kit. Hopefully it'll come with a new float. We'll reset it, clean it all up with the carb cleaner. Just a little air. Put it back together, and that we should have our fuel problem fixed. Carburetor kit came in the mail for the Yamaha. We're gonna go back to it. I don't remember. This should be a continuous video. I mean, it's like 2 weeks later, but y'all don't know that. Why am I giving you insider tips? Kit came in the mail. I think water pump's coming today. It hasn't run yet, so carburetor was the main issue. I don't know if it was getting fuel or gummed up. Got the kit. It's got spark. The only thing I'm confused about is maybe the kill switch is still engaged because it's got the plug but no key switch. So maybe the kill switch is still kind of active even though I'm showing spark. Maybe the spark is going to the spark plugs but grounding out. It doesn't make any sense. If it's going to the plug, it's got to be firing. So it did not even pretend to fire. So compression we know is at least good enough to start, and the plug's got spark. So let's check this carburetor, make sure it's cleaned up, and then we'll see if it runs. And then hopefully when that water pump comes, it'll be a running motor, and we can work on the shift handle. And oh my God, if I can get this done this week, it'd be huge. All right. Oh, you might be noticing I'm using a microphone. Fancy. You know how we do it out here. So carburetor kit is in. I'm just putting the carb back together. And you're like, not another carb video. I'm just gonna show you because it's Japanese. Look. Takai. Like George Takai? No, that's got to be spelled different. It's right on it. Japan. Anyway. The kit. The kit. Okay, so this motor is a 30 horsepower Yamaha 2-cylinder, 1 carburetor. I believe it's an Enduro. It doesn't say it anywhere on it, but it's from the 1990s. I think it's made in Japan. Here's your kit number for the pump. Not the pump, the carb. It comes with a needle, like a new carb needle, like slow speed needle. Doesn't come with the high speed jet. We put the tube in the middle, and this jet then goes on top of that. I want to make sure there's no gasket on top of that. I didn't put one in yet. And the kit sat in Barrowman for 3 days. She was good and clean when I took it out of that. New float. Looks like this old. What's this float? This float looks bent. So this float, I remember it being down a little bit. That tab was bent too far, it looks like. So this one's level. We'll see how that looks. I want to mix them up. The old float, the new float. Look at a couple of plastic round pieces. I have no idea where they go. A lot of times carb kits will come with pieces you don't need because it's for more than one application. This kit came with 2 plastic things. I don't know what they're for. That's the needle seat gasket. It's not plastic, it's like a red ring. I guess an extra carburetor nut bolt, which is cute. Oh, look at a little O-ring. I don't know what that's to. Oh, sugar. Little O-ring. Needle and seat. And then this was what I thought was really cool. 2 things to note about this kit. This kit did come from Amazon or eBay sells them. I forget which one I went. Does not come with the float pivot pin, so save that. And it comes with a new carb needle. That's cool, like really cool. I put the old one in, but we're gonna take it back out and put the new needle in. Why not? Doesn't need to be super tight. Everybody simmer down. Like, this boy just used a screwdriver to tighten it. I did. Ain't sorry about it. Alright. We're gonna test it because it just seems like, how does it pull the needle back? We'll find out. See how it's not level? Pretty sure that's wrong. But it's a spring-loaded needle seat. So fuel goes in. I have no idea how that works, but it works. Bowl upside down, fuel doesn't go through. The quite problem is, how do you adjust that? Pull the tab up a little bit. AC kicked on just as I hit record. So I like it. It's not, well, when you hold it straight up and down, which is like this, it is level. I'm going like this. And you can kind of see there's a gap there, but when you pull it down, the weight of the front is now, when you look at it straight on, level. It's perfectly level. It's got a great adjustment on it, but you have to take the pin out to adjust it, whereas the Evinrude, you can just kind of bend it while it's in there. So I like it like that. We're leaving it like that. It's a different setup than I'm used to. It's kind of blocked. There's nothing to stop it from going open all the way. Oh, there you go. So you can adjust it like that. You just push that tab in or bend it. We're good. So that's it. So float is set. Couldn't find where that little baby O-ring goes. And then I looked at a parts diagram, and we did find on the end of the drain valve, which I had already screwed in, there's a little thing. I'm sorry, the camera's not going to focus on that. It's too tiny. Put it on the end there. That's where that little O-ring goes. Doesn't fit very tightly, but that's where the diagram is showing it going. Screwed into the bottom of the carb. And voila. All right. Beautiful. Three. And 4. Tighten it down. Our carburetor is 99% done. I just got to add the choke, the automatic choke to it, which we'll probably do later. And then there's a screw here. I don't remember that plug. I gotta go find that. Oopsie. Barring tightening down the nuts, I put a new fuel line here. It's a lot bigger than the old one, but the inner diameter was the same. Let me force it through this bracket here. I had to take that bolt off. But now my carb is hooked up. I just gotta get my 10 mils on the wrench. Carburetor's in place. I gotta hook up a mechanism here, and we're gonna give her a fire test and see if fuel is gonna go in that sucker. And I can tell you right now it's not. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. My fitting's here. Fitting's gonna go into the fuel pump, out to the carburetor, and we should be good. That's what it's gonna sound like. Oh, I also lost the nut to the flywheel, so it's a good thing we saw that. We gotta put the starter back, or technically don't. It can stay where it needs to be for now. The starter bracket's got 3 very similar length stainless steel bolts, and the very long one goes in the front. So this one's bigger than the other 2 or 3. She goes in because she's got a lot of gap or something. I'm not really sure why, but just so you know, the real long one goes in the front. Okay, we've adjusted the float. It seems like the needle is just a weird setup. I just did it so that fuel would go in. So now we got no fuel leak. It's actually stopping the fuel. and I just adjusted that. You know what? It wouldn't stop either. The starter is pushing the hose or something. Whatever, the carb bowl's full. If it's gonna spark, it's gonna spark. I'm gonna start it and shut it down if it even runs. I'm gonna put this pull start on it. I can't believe fuel's spitting out of that friggin' thing. I really can't. It's just rotten luck on that one. Because I had the starter apparatus off and I pushed that bulb to try to break it, wouldn't break. So I knew my zip tie was good. Once that starter goes in, it just does something to the hose. It is what it is. Battery died, per usual. I pulled the pull start and she said, F you. I mean, backfired like you wouldn't believe. Scared me so much to the point where I'm shaking now and I'm afraid to keep pulling on it. So I have this fuel issue here due to this starter, which we can rectify with a good hose clamp. I might do that right now. Neither here nor there. All of a sudden I kept pulling, I wasn't getting anything else than that backfire. Got a little leak in the bottom there now. I don't know if that's unburnt fuel or what. I'm gonna guess unburnt fuel. Then I pulled the plugs out, completely flooded. Pulled the cylinders to get rid of the fuel. It's a lot of excess spray in there. Put the plugs back in, she fired. She did fire and start. I had to start it and then throttle it to give it a little more fuel. That seemed to work. Stayed running for 2 seconds and then stalled out. With throttle, without throttle. So I'm gonna see if I can get it going again for the camera, to be nice. I took the fuel hose off because I feel like it was sucking fuel religiously. So I don't know if it's because that float is no good or what. I know every time I sprayed a damn bulb, fuel is coming out here. So you know what? Let me get my carburetor adjustment tool. Adjusting. Okay, carburetor's adjusted. Now the bulb is super hard. Fuel will not go in at all. Because I don't know what's going on. All right, anyway, let's see if we can get it to fire for the camera. Choke. I don't even know if I need to choke anymore. Just don't backfire on me again. Holy crap, that was scary. Okay, see that? Fuel is just pissed. It's almost like the fuel in the bowl is coming backwards. We don't want that. Anyway, take the choke off. I gotta throttle it with my hand, pull with the other, pray with the other. That's a win. It's a win. It's running or runs. Why does it stall? I have no idea. It's not in the barrel. The lower unit's downstairs. Simmer down, you water pump nut bars. Power head is not hot yet. I didn't overheat it. It will overheat if I keep doing that, but I wanted to see if she fire. Impeller's actually in the mail, but if I can't keep it running, it's going to be pointless to put the lower unit on. We have to figure out why it doesn't want to stay running. Although it did kind of stay running. You know, we were here, it was either full throttle or nothing. We still have fuel going in and out. We have to figure out, oh yeah, we haven't even worried about slow speed mixture screw or anything like that. So we did get it to fire. I just need to find out and confirm about the thing. Let's get it going again, because that was fun. Choke's off, see if it starts. Oh, see that backfire? Why does it want to backfire? Okay, now it feels like it doesn't want to go. Let's choke it again. Feels like it's fighting me now. That was because I didn't unchoke it. I should have. Wow, this thing's gonna fall over. Why am I? Get it back. No, just unlucky. You just keep moving to the left. kicking my tripod every time I walk by it. Choke again. Fuel could be empty. Yeah, something is not right with that. I think I'm locked up. There we go. Yeah, something was in here not right. No idea what's going on there. Damn, I didn't want to do that. I keep forgetting it's choked. Okay. Quick, it is loud because it's underneath it. Quick diagnoses right now. It wants to idle because Daddy's got a fuel issue here. Yeah, so the float is trying to stop the fuel, start the fuel, and it's just pissing out of here because I got a leak. We're gonna get a good hose clamp on that. I think it's gonna idle. Didn't want to run it too much because now we're getting out of control. Yeah. I mean, power heads, yeah, getting up the running temp. It's gonna need water eventually. But that's good. So let's get this back off, hose clamp that guy, get the fuel situated, get the impeller in, throw the lower unit on, see if we have a running 30 horsepower. Is it possible? Hey, not bad for a 90 motor that I got for free. By the way, if you were looking to see the motor that got fixed in order that I got this, it's the 33 Johnson, the old one. Super horse, super seahorse. Gives me this motor, I think nothing of it. It's a controlled long shaft. What am I gonna do with a controlled long shaft? It sat in my basement doing nothing. I took the flywheel off, I looked at it, I was like, oh, it looks like a nice motor. I didn't touch it. I'm probably getting ahead of myself because we have a long way to go with this guy. But 1990, when do you think the last time this thing ran? I'd say I'll give it to 2000. So for a motor that's been sitting in general for 23 years, 24 years in my basement for at least 5 or 6, that's pretty cool. This thing, with a couple tweaks, started up in one pull. It's shout out time. I'm gonna give a shout out to my buddy GJ at home, checking me out. What's up, my little man? I'm gonna give a little shout out to Luke and Leo as well. All 3 of yous, but I know one of yous is sitting there eating Cheerios watching me. You are the man. I love you, buddy. Thanks for watching, as always. As far as everybody else, but GJ's my little buddy. Anyway, son of the first mate you might see in a lot of my videos. All right, let's get that lower unit. Oh, thermostat's out. I took that out originally just to see if it was full of salt and stuff. So I took that out. I got a new one I can put in there. I might leave it out because I'm having an issue with thermostats lately. Let's get that lower unit back together. Okay, as promised, the lower unit of the Yamaha. It's a lower unit. Drills were filled out for fins. Why do I know that this is an Enduro or an Alpha Drive, I believe they call it? Because of this. Anyway, alright, so it's got a retainer locking ring. You got to put the tabs up, and then it's got this spinny threaded thing that never comes out because it goes out around, and people are drilling it out and breaking it, and holy hell, I didn't want to do that. I don't think we're gonna have to. She spins in neutral, I shifted it, so I'm gonna pop the tabs back in. We're gonna leave it. We're gonna get this thing running first, and then let's check the water pump, because I believe this thing overheated. I don't know why or what happened to it. So again, lovely metric system, 10mm, boop, boop, boop. This thing has an outer cover that rests over the water pump housing. It's different, and this little apparatus here comes up. Water pump housing, I guess the 3 bolts are already out, so it looks good. Plastic housing looks good. Propeller staying on the shaft. Cup. It's got some rubber assimilated with it, but no grooves. Okay. Noted. Impeller. Shizot. It is not only fixed, which is typical. Why isn't this spinning now? There we go. Gears are a little wonky down there. But look, whoop, we're definitely weak. You know, this fin's pinned this way with no memory at all, and it's broken. So probably just weak water. Started running funky, fuel issue. It was salty. This is the thermostat that came out of it. She is all gummed up with salt and crap. So we just gotta get this impeller off. New impeller. This plate has a gasket on top. I don't even know if that comes out. I'm hoping it does. Oh, it does. Or at least I'm bending it in the wrong spots. I don't know if the new kit comes with all this stuff. So, that part bends up. This part's not. Alright, we'll worry about that later. Is this going to come up? Are you going to behave? No. Well, she doesn't want to leave her home. There we go. Okay. We have a rubber. Okay. Let me know what y'all think about this. Cody Baez said the plastic inserts seem to hold up better. They don't delaminate. So I want one like this with the plastic, not the brass on the inside. Look at this guy. Help me. Help me. Trash. Alright, plate. You gonna stay in there? For life. I mean, if it ain't broke. Question is it broke? I don't know. Gasket's intact. Is it? Okay. I don't know. Oh, wait, we got holeage. Oh, and groovage. Yeah, mini groove. This is a weep hole. That's got to get cleared out. I mean, it's on. This plate's on there. I'm not breaking this. If it doesn't pump water with a new impeller, I'll just retake it apart. Alright. Weep hole returned. I don't know if that's supposed to be a weep hole or not. Seal of some sort. Oopsie. I don't know. No idea. Okay. Anyway. Lower unit. Disassembled. Water pump. I'm going to put a new one in. Oh, there's our key. Might not want to lose that. Oh, she a biggie. Like a legit Woodruff key. I thought it was going to be a little pin. Alright, we got to save that. That we got to save. Who knows if I'll need that. In the parts box. Impeller, going to save for reference. And that's it. Lower unit's apart. Let's wait for kits. Okay, a couple days ago we took the housing apart. Pretty straightforward. You guys shouldn't need any help with this. The kit did not come with a new grommet for the housing. I'm sure the housing will be fine. Again, we still, if the motor ends up being a runner, we'll divulge more into it. But the pump has a Woodruff key. Just slide her on down from the top. And the pump is oriented, so you have to put see the slot there. It's not there, so that side has to go down. This one's got like a moon-sized Woodruff key. So what I did was I tilted it up towards the top. This way now I have a slot to go on, and then maybe we can just kind of tip that front, push that bottom part in just a little bit. Really do apologize. My 10-year-old. My 8-year-old, excuse me. You know, kids, what we're gonna do. Oh, what's the matter with these kids today? Absolutely nothing. Grease your splines. Not the top. Whoop. Cool. Okay. Put it back in for me, right? No problems today. We want a smooth job. I'll tell you what, that water tube is a lot easier to go in than the antifreeze. Now, the problem is, wind up. Oh, where are we? Whew. That's a dream. Wow, it's in. That is nutty. We're just gonna shift down before we do that. Let's get a bolt in. That's gonna fall out. Bolt down. Don't move. Don't breathe. We're gonna blame the gun. Yo, Bob, stop breathing. Easy, Bob. Simmer down, Bob. Okay. Hey, this is Yamaha, 30 horsepower, no tiller handle yet. Working on this nut, but water pump engaged on the muffs with water. I don't have a way to kill it, so I'll have to choke it. Using muffs, it is what it is. Water's gonna get everywhere. Flushes out this hole here, that's not good. Didn't know that. There's a flush hole mounting. I really need to put flex tape on because the water's just gonna come out that hole. I guess it's for flushing salt water out. Alright, I guess it is what it is. We'll just start it, see if it pumps at all. I don't even know where the water comes out of. There's no pee hole on this thing. I don't know. Primer's all flush. Choke. Hope it don't backfire me again. Little throttle. No choke. Little throttle. everywhere. I'll watch my fingers on that prop, man, because it's not really adjusted. Here, blubber hole I expect. 3 holes. 1, 2. If I put my hand near that prop, my hand's gonna go. Comes out of here. This is hot here. Really hot here. Water seems to be dripping out of this. Thermostat's getting kind of hot. The water pump is working. It's just maybe a bad lower seal. Really hot right there. Right there. It's not a wind, it's running. I can't take this thing out of the water and do 20 miles an hour. Water test or what? Super throttle responsive. It runs perfect. I don't think it's getting hot. Oh, it slipped into gear. Super dangerous right now. You get the kids away from it. I don't know what to do with this thing. touch. This is neutral. So we need it to be... That's pretty good. This section's really hot, right here. The exhaust section is super hot. It seems to be water dripping out of this, down here, I mean everywhere. I mean, water is everywhere. I hate muffs, man. They are just the worst. I mean, it's the best running 30 horsepower I got. Oh, I also gotta get a nut for this flywheel. Yeah. I mean, we gotta take it on the water, right? Who cares if water's coming out of everywhere? It's not like I got any better option than this. We gotta get a kill switch on it. We gotta finish the tiller handle. We gotta make sure that it's still hot, and it's hot. And we gotta adjust the shifter. And I wanna tighten up these bolts back here to see if we can stop the water from coming out there. Also very hot. This whole back section. Hot, hot, hot. I mean, it's exhaust, so maybe it's supposed to be like that. Anyway, we gotta get this on the water. So stay tuned for that. Camping this weekend. Maybe we'll do montage. That's just blue and the backup 6 horsepower Susie. So nothing special there. Maybe the 5.5 power heads off. Can't do that. If I can straighten this up by tomorrow. Nah, because then I gotta transport it and put it on. You're not supposed to use a 30 horsepower in the valley. So next week we'll get to her. Watch these videos, like the dang videos. See you around.
Bye.